This is not a movie. This is the truth of the largest unsolved art theft in human history. At 1:24 a.m. on March 18, 1990, two men in Boston police uniforms walked into the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. Their haul, 13 pieces of priceless art. The value, over $500 million. But the most shocking part isn't the value, the theft itself, or the decades the FBI has searched. The most shocking part is the single, haunting decision the museum made afterwards. The promise. In the next 8 minutes, we will unpack the unbelievable plan of these thieves and ask the question, why are the empty frames still hanging there today? Title card, The 500 Million. Ghost, the Gardner Museum Heist. The Gardner Museum is not a typical building. It was built as a passion project for socialite Isabella Stewart Gardner, a Venetian palazzo imported to Boston. It was her final instruction. Nothing must ever be changed. This rule would become the weakness the thieves exploited. This is the roadmap. First, how they faked the police entry. Second, the critical mistake that left a loose thread. And finally, the two suspects the FBI has ignored for 30 years. Our story begins with the two night security guards, Rick and Randy, who should have known better. They were young, bored, and underpaid. Perfect targets for a confident scheme. At 1:24 a.m., the security alarm sounded, and the guards saw two figures approaching the door in police uniforms. They claimed to be responding to a disturbance. The guards made the fatal mistake of letting them in. But the moment the door closed, the uniforms came off, and the gloves went on. Rick and Randy were quickly subdued and handcuffed in the basement. The thieves had 81 minutes of freedom. The clock was ticking on the biggest score of their lives. The thieves knew exactly where to go. They bypassed the high-value Renoirs and Titians. They went straight to the Dutch room. Their target was Vermeer's The Concert, a painting so valuable it's considered the holy grail of stolen art. But the thieves didn't cut the Vermeer out of its frame. They meticulously unscrewed it. Why go to the trouble of unscrewing a painting if you're just going to chop it up later? We'll save that answer for the climax. Strangely, the thieves also stole two small, relatively worthless landscape sketches by Rembrandt. This suggests either they were panicking or they were taking everything they were specifically paid to steal. Then they made their one critical mistake. They stole the bronze eagle finial from the top of a Napoleonic flag. This seemingly minor piece of evidence, which was later dropped, would become the FBI's most important clue. The clock was ticking down. The thieves exited, leaving the guards handcuffed in the basement. They fled in a stolen car and were never seen again. For decades, the FBI has tracked the heist. They believe they know the two names responsible, low-level mob associates who were later murdered. Slow down here, hint at the danger. But if the thieves are dead, where are the paintings? To answer the question of why they unscrewed the Vermeer, we must look at the nature of art theft. These were not random thieves. They were taking the art for a ransom or for a collector. The unscrewing proves they hoped to return it intact. Deliver this as the final, solved piece of the puzzle. The museum decided on a policy of defiant hope. To honor Isabella Stewart Gardner's rule, nothing must ever be changed. And to show the thieves the crime is not complete, they hang the empty frames. Deliver this with profound respect. This empty space is the final consequence of the crime. It is a scar that proves the heist is not complete. The space is waiting. The ransom is still on the table. The voice trails off slightly, creating a haunting effect. The true value of the Gardner heist is not the $500 million lost. It is the story of two men, 81 minutes, and a single, arrogant decision that left an eternal void. And that void remains the largest open door in art crime history. What do you think happened to the paintings? Were the thieves killed? Or are they living out their lives quietly somewhere? Let me know your theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like and subscribe for more true crime mysteries.